But if it's not my child, then I don't want anything to do with my wife.
Now, Ms. Baker, you're saying that your husband here, that he's the father, which he's denying of your baby boy. Is that correct? And Mr. Baker, you're saying it's medically impossible for you to be the father of your child with Ms. Baker. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so how long have you guys been married?
About 10 years.
10 years?
Now, for the most part, how's that 10 years been going? I mean, was it a solid relationship? Was it faith-based? Or do you have a good connection with one another for those 10 years?
I mean, we started off as monogamous, and then
So monogamous.
things just happen, and
Unless there's something I don't know about.
Okay, tell me about this pregnancy here. You're saying that the child is already born. How old is the child at this time?
4 months.
4 months, okay, 4 months. Now, have you been interacting with her, even though you were in denial of your 4-month-old son? Have there been any connection or any bonding with your son, Mr. Baker?
here and there.
Okay.
But I've like always just had, reasons to suspect.
Okay, now let's go back to this medical impossibility if you're saying that you cannot be the father. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. So about 20 years ago,
How many years, I'm sorry?
20 years ago.
Okay, go ahead.
I got myself into trouble with, an ex-partner of mine, and I got her pregnant, so I decided that, I was just going to get a vasectomy done. And based on what I've researched and the doctors I've talked to, it's impossible for me to father any kids because I don't have a sperm count.
Gotcha. Seeing that my profession is being a judge and having me go to law school and still paying for it, I think we need more of a professional opinion about this. And we have a professional in the house. Can I bring up Miss? Yeah, take the stand here, would you? And we're going to get her opinion about what you just mentioned, Cyprian, on the subject of your.
I mean, if it's my child, then it's definitely an act of God.
Okay.
It has to be.
You've heard some of the testimony so far. What is your opinion from what you've heard so far from the couple and
Yes.
this condition in particular?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, I definitely believe that it could be faith in God and a miracle. But in all actuality, mostly what happens when somebody has a vasectomy 20 years ago, usually the client does not do the follow-up. And there are 2 follow-ups. One is a 3-month follow-up. And did you do your follow-up, sir?
Yeah, this is 3 months.
And then usually, since people are like, oh, there's no sperm count, they don't do the year follow-up. And with that year passing and then 20 years from now, the tubes can come back together. And usually, it's not about the sperm, just like in a woman, the sperm count usually it's the quality of the sperm that usually lowers, so that just like a woman getting older, the eggs, and so forth. So there is a possibility that the tubes could go back together and your sperm could have fertilized his wife and the act of God.
Seems that we have a clearer picture now. Now, with that in mind, what would be your plan, seeing that once we discover or reveal the actual proof of the DNA, what will be your plan going forth? Should you be the father?
I mean, if I'm the father, then of course I'm going to take responsibility for it.
Okay.
But if it's not my child, then I don't want anything to do with my wife, which clearly means she wasn't faithful to me.
It's not true. You know I had a drinking problem. If I blacked out, I don't remember anything happening.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that things didn't happen just because you blacked out.
I don't see why anyone would be in the house.
Have you considered the connection you've already made with this 4-month-old child? Seeing that you've already made some kind of bonding, and if you leave her with her condition as far as she's trying to battle alcoholism and having faith in the Lord that He's going to take care of her, which I believe He will, she's going to need some backing from you.
I mean, sure, I can be supportive as a friend, but I can't be intimate with somebody that's not faithful to me.
I am faithful.
Okay. Now, seeing that we've gotten this far, I think it'll be a good time to present the DNA to kind of find out where we are in this and perhaps come to a conclusion. Okay. Now, these diagnosis reports have been certified and as goes as follows. In the case of Mr. Baker, of fathering 4-month-old Caleb, according to these records, and they are very, very accurate, it says here, Mr. Baker, you are the father.
Sorry.